All right, getting video up and recording. Cool. All right, so I'm Kate Dorsey. I'm so excited to be here. If you guys don't have a pen and paper, if you could grab one. If you're not able to, don't worry, you can kind of do the second part of this activity later on, or use your phone if that's possible as well, because there's a fantastic notes section. So I'm super excited to be here. I'm going to teach you guys probably my #1 favorite vision and clarity tool, and really manifestation. If you're not on mute, please go ahead and mute yourself. If you have any questions, I'm definitely going to go through some questions towards the end. We've got about 30 minutes together, and I'm just going to give you a quick overview so you know what we're getting into, and we'll go from there. So I'm not sure. I'm going to try to mute. No, I don't know how to do that. Okay. Let's see. I'm blocked from seeing stuff. Okay. So let me see if I can somehow hit the, yep, got it. Okay. I'm muting those of you that aren't muted. I almost just muted myself. That's hysterical. If you end up coming on and wanting to ask questions and you don't know how to, please use the chat, or I'm happy to unmute you later on. I'm just gonna go with that for now. So we are recording this. If you're catching a replay, it's gonna be just as valuable. I think that everybody should be muted. Okay, so we're good. So what it's gonna look like is we're gonna walk through a very short meditation just to kind of get you centered and grounded. Then we're going to use pen and paper, or iPhone, Android, whatever. And we're going to do a little bit of an activity around that. Like I said, this is my favorite exercise, and I'll share with you a little bit about why a little later on. And it's the one that I absolutely love to use with my clients, and that my clients get incredible results from. So I'm so excited to be here with you guys. Welcome to your New Year's Eve pre-party. What? Only no Uber or Alka-Seltzer needed. So this is really going to be an opportunity to get really clear on what you want to experience in 2019, what you're super excited to create, and ultimately start paving that path. So we'll go ahead and get started, because I know y'all's time is valuable. And if you're not able to stay for the full training, no worries. I will be sending it via email. If you joined on Facebook, I'll be reposting it through the different places I posted on Facebook. So super excited. Okay. So if everyone could go ahead and close your eyes, we're going to take about 3 deep breaths. So I'd like for you to just get comfortable. Take a nice, slow, deep breath in. Hold it at the top and slowly exhale. Take another nice, slow, deep breath in. Hold it at the top and slowly release. And one more breath all together. A nice, slow, deep breath in. Pause and slowly exhale. I want you to imagine that it's December 2019. You're looking back at everything you've created this year. Everything that you're so excited to have experienced. It's been an incredible year. You've had so many changes. You've been through so much. There were so many highs. There were things that you never thought were possible, but you'd always wished would come true. There are things that you wanted and desired, and you accomplished them. Feel that smile cross your face as you recognize all that you've accomplished. What's that one thing? That one thing you were so excited about? You've been blown away by the results that you got. You can't even believe how much better those results were than you expected. You came into this year with so many hopes. You had so many experiences. You achieved things you wanted so badly. This has been your year. As you feel the power of that, I want you to think about what it is that you experienced. What did you create? What did you accomplish? How does it feel to have accomplished that? What was your biggest surprise? What was that thing that you didn't expect to happen and it happened? How does it feel to be standing in December of 2019, looking back? What makes you happy right now? What makes you smile? What makes you think, wow, this really was my year? What were the highs? As you stand there, reflecting, taking stock of everything that you experienced, of all that transpired. Was it your health? Did that improve? How did it improve? What does it look like? Was it your job? Are you fulfilled? Do you feel on purpose? Do you feel like your life has meaning? Was it your relationship? Are you in a relationship? Are you too happy? How does it feel to be in this partnership? Was it your friends? Do you feel really connected to your friends? Do you feel like these people matter so much to me? They fill my heart with love and joy. They have my best interests in mind. They truly care about me. How did you give back? What did you do for others? How did you serve them? How does it feel to know that you really helped other people? How much fun did you have? Did you take any trips? What were those experiences like for you? What was your favorite trip? What was the most fun thing you did this year? As you look at all of these areas, I want you to focus in on the one that feels the most powerful for you, the one that is calling your attention, the one that makes you feel so satisfied with this year. What is that one? What did you accomplish? Feel that sense of pride, that desire to celebrate that huge win. Really connect to it. Know that you were meant for this. After all, this is your year. Now I want you to turn your attention to another part. What else did you create that was so powerful, that you felt so excited about? What about that part made it so amazing? What are you celebrating there? And then I want you to look at just one more area. What stands out to you there? Why does that make you happy? How does it fulfill you? I want you to hold on to all of these areas. I want you to really, really connect to them, to hone in on what these exact changes were, on what the results that you created in 2019 have done for you. That feeling of fulfillment, of happiness, joy, and celebration. In a moment, we're going to come back, and you're going to hold on to these. And you're going to write to yourself. You're going to write yourself a letter that's about all of these things that you've experienced. You're coming from 2019. At the very end of it, you're standing there and you're looking back. And you created these powerful experiences, these powerful changes. And when we return, you're going to write that letter to yourself. You'll write it as though you've already accomplished these things, because you're standing in December of 2019 and you're looking back. So I want you to think, what is it that you're celebrating? And so as we get ready to come back and to begin writing this letter, I want you to shift your attention to your breath, to begin taking a few slow, deep breaths in, giving yourself the time and space to slowly shift your attention back to the present. I want you to take a nice, slow, deep breath in, and then another nice, slow exhale. And then one more deep, slow breath in, and one more exhale. I want you to wiggle your fingers and your toes to shift your attention back to the present moment and to open your eyes. Staying in the space of where you just were, of what you just experienced, knowing that you have been standing in December of 2019 looking back, I want you to begin writing that letter. So we'll take just a few moments to jot down what stood out. You can expand on this after. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just give yourself a few minutes to jot down the things that you noticed, the things that stood out to you, the areas that you experienced change in, the areas that you felt called to do something different, the areas where you were celebrating your wins and what those wins were. And so I'll give us about 5 minutes to write that, and then we'll talk a little bit more about how this tool can be so helpful and valuable. And you can come back to this. It doesn't have to be perfect. it's just like jotting some notes down. You can expand on it. So I'm just going to give you guys a few minutes to kind of jot some of those down. Sorry, that was me drinking a cup of tea. And so as you're jotting them down, the things that stood out to you, know that that's a really powerful place to be in. So just about another minute to jot some stuff down. This is something that you guys can come back to and really flush out. What I want to do though for y'all is kind of explain a little bit behind it, and share some really big results and wins that clients of mine have experienced, because I think that will help drive home how this tool really works. All right, so I hope that you've had a little bit of time to write some stuff down. Please do return to this. I'm going to go into why this is a powerful tool, how you can use this tool, because there's more to it, and really help kind of like ground you a little bit more into it. I love when my hair looks crazy. That's so funny. Okay, so this is absolutely one of my favorite. It's a tried and true method. It really helps, and like, one of the reasons it really helps is because it puts us in the feelings of having already achieved these things. And so when you write your letter as though you've accomplished it, you can connect to the emotions behind that, to the feelings that you're wanting to do. So I'll share with you guys that my clients love this. This is one of the tools that we use to help them get really clear on what they want. And I think that it makes a lot of sense as to how that's really helpful. You should have honed in on at least one area where you're like, okay, yeah, I know what I want here. And then we take that and we connect to the feelings of it, and we do that every day. So when you go back to maybe flush out some of the details behind this, my encouragement to you is to begin the process of actually reading it to yourself every day. I will share with you that I practice this regularly. In fact, I practice it so regularly that I no longer need to read my letter. But I will show you. I literally rewrote 2019's letter. Super long. You can type it. It's okay. You can handwrite it. Cool. My handwriting is illegible. I apparently should have been a doctor. So the reason I have mine typed out is so that I can read it. Since it's a new letter, I don't actually have this one memorized. I know a lot of the qualities that I want. So I'm actually spending some time connecting with it every day. There is power in doing that. When we tap into the feelings of already having experienced the things that we want, we line ourselves up. We become magnets, and we literally magnetize the things that we want and desire towards ourselves. Like, no joke, you guys, I went back and read my letter from last year before writing my 2019 letter, and I could not believe how many things had happened in there. Like, it was just like thing after thing after thing. So like, I moved to San Diego. That was in my letter. I live with 2 people. That was literally in my letter. Like, what? My relationship in my letter. And so like, why I'm sharing that with you is so that you understand just how powerful this tool is. and that this isn't something that I just talk about. This is something that I actually live and breathe. Like, this is so important for really getting the results that you want, really tapping into your success, really transforming your life. What I'll share with you is that a lot of my clients write letters too. Like I said, it's like seriously my favorite one. And the reason it's my favorite one is because of the results people get. Big fan of getting all the results you want. It's actually one of the reasons why I transitioned out of therapy, because I didn't think that it was as fun to just come in and talk about all the things that we're wanting and not like actually get those results. So some of my clients have done this. One of my clients is actually on a trip right now. He had written that he'd be taking a trip, and sure enough, he is now. He'd also put in there that he was going to get a really great job and move into a new place. And sure enough, he's had those things. I've had another client, she wrote about a relationship and what she wanted out of that. And lo and behold, she's literally in that relationship and is experiencing so much happiness. So what I want you guys to get from that is that there's power in getting really clear and in knowing what you really want to experience. So when we set ourselves up for success, when we connect to the things that we want, so not like, then we're going to experience them. It's a given. Like, I would love for you guys to think of that way. My taking the time to do this means that the things that I want and desire will be a given. So when we approach things that way, it becomes a no-brainer to put time into it every day. Time into it every day is literally you reading the letter and connecting to your feelings. So I'll share with you a couple of ways that can make that really helpful. I am a morning person. So I like to give myself time in the morning to ground and to get really centered. So I read mine in the morning. You can read yours in the morning. You can read it in the afternoon. You can read it in the night. You can take a photo of your letter and carry it with you and read it when you want. Just make the commitment to actually do it, because the reality is you have to put consistent work into things to get the results that you want. So that can look like honestly, y'all, the more you connect to it, the faster your results will be. So you have to ask yourself, why would I not want to experience these things? Like, why would I block myself from having that? So it does not take me long to read this. It's like 5 minutes. Easiest way to connect to feelings is to put your hand over your heart as you're reading it. And like I said, over time, I memorize my letters, so I no longer need to read it. And when I memorize them, it becomes rote for me. So I'm just going to address that. So then I'm not connected to the feelings. So once it ends up being memorized, then I just do it from here. I just literally go straight into this, and I no longer look at my paper. So honing in on the top things that you want. Mine's obviously really long because I tend to be that way, and yours can be too, but I would say hone in on 3 areas and really commit to that and to showing up for that. And once you've checked those off, you can always add some others in. This is an ongoing practice. This is not my first letter. Also, there have been other drafts. Why? Because nothing is perfect, and we don't need to be perfect. So you can do this, and you can come back to it and change things. You can come back to it and edit things. You can come back to it and add, or you can say, wow, I already accomplished that. So my 2018 letter, I'd already accomplished some stuff, so I took it out and put some new things in. My letter for next year, I'm super stoked about. Can't wait to, actually, I'm super excited to start doing retreats. Cannot wait to do that. I'm super stoked. So what I'm really sharing with you is an incredible practice to get really, really clear on what it is that you want to experience, and then to set yourself up to truly experience those successes. If anybody has any questions about that, feel free to raise your hand, to unmute yourself, to type in the chat. I really want this to be something valuable for y'all, something where you're like, I can totally accomplish this. I can totally do this. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait. Because there is so much freaking power in this. Literally not a single client of mine who has done this hasn't gotten the results that they wanted or something better. That's amazing. So, and even for myself, I have gotten incredible results from doing this. And I obviously continue to do this because I get those results. Let me see, Anita. So Anita, if you're open to reading it out loud, I would actually recommend reading it out loud. There's power in taking something and speaking it. So I don't know if you guys know this, but like when we go to change belief systems, you want to speak the new one. So when you like imagine doing affirmations, you don't do affirmations in your mind. There's power in putting it out there. Think of it like as like increasing the magnetic power. So I would encourage you to read it out loud to yourself. If you're not able to do that, that's cool. Like sometimes I'm standing in line at the grocery store and I'm certainly not going to be like, I am so excited to have created amazing retreats for incredible women. No, I'm not really going to be saying that out loud, but I will say it out loud when I have privacy. So I hope that that's helpful. Thank you for asking that question. I know that there was probably somebody else who was wondering the same thing, so thank you so much. And resistance. Okay, so when we have resistance, it means that we don't believe it. It means that there's a hesitation on our part to buy into it. So if we have that, the easiest suggestion for you, since we're not working one-on-one, would be to drop it down a little. So move it into something that feels more real. And then, Anita, this is going to be cool. As you come to believe it, because you've been reading it for so long and saying it out loud for so long, because you will experience that, then up level it, move it to the next thing. Maybe it's so like where you're at right now, if it's too big a stretch, just move it down so it feels like, yeah, I can do that. And then move it again. Like imagine, let's say 3 months from now, imagine moving it to something else and like stretching there. Anita, let me know if that makes sense. So Brittany, that's a really great question. How realistic should our letter be? Is it okay to dream? So I am a big fan of dreaming. I also think that anything is possible if we're willing to put the work in. So there's no way, I'll use this example. There's no way to become a marathon runner if I don't commit to training. And by the way, sometimes we can even just work on training our mind. I believe in dreaming big, and then I believe in taking that big dream and having success with it. So what I would share with you is to create what you want, because a lot of times we limit ourselves. So a lot of times we'll say, oh, but I can't have that relationship. Says who? It says your limiting beliefs. That's who. So what I'm going to encourage you to do, Brittany, is to dream boldly and bigly, and know that if it's a really, really big dream, it might take more time. And then use what I was sharing with Anita, where you're like feeling like it's happening. Like, do you guys know that story of Jim Carrey? I was actually just reading a book about it. Like, I don't know if any of y'all have seen that. I think it's on Netflix. But he walked around for years with like I think it was a $1 million or a $10 million check. Okay, sorry, I was muting. He walked around with like a $10 million check or something like, or 1 million. He didn't know how that was going to happen. He just kept it there and he kept connecting with that. So depending on how big that dream is and how, like, nothing is outlandish. I mean, maybe it's outlandish to say you're going to grow like a third arm. Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. We haven't quite reached that. But is it outlandish to dream big and boldly that you can have the things that you want and desire if you're willing to put the work in? And that's the second component. So there is work that comes through. So inspiration. So I'll share one with you guys, because I updated my letter. I don't know at what point. Oh, I'll share this. This is super cool. I updated my letter not that long ago, but this is the super cool part. So I had decided that I really wanted to host retreats with somebody else. And I like put that in the letter, an updated version, like maybe sometime in the spring. You guys, I met her. So I have been calling her in for like 3 months. I met her. And it's taking action on top of things, which is me talking out loud and saying I'd love to do retreats, and it just being a perfect matchup, like to the T in this letter, like crazy. And then from there, taking inspired action. So that's another component. So that's really looking at when I get an idea, speaking it, because something inside me said, just say this to her. And I said, okay, I'll say it to her. So that's my point in sharing that. Brittany, let me know, does that make sense? I hope that's helpful. And thank you for asking that, because I know that other people are going to have that question and you will have answered that for them. So thank you so much. So you guys, there's obviously, like, this is really, really powerful. This alone can be super transformative. And if you're running into hesitation, you're running into blocks, or you're running into uncertainty, then I'm going to encourage you to get on the phone with me. I'm offering a 4 weeks to clarity group program, and it will really help break this down, not just your vision, not just what you want, but also like, let's remove the blocks and barriers. Let's get you these results. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to actually go ahead and just paste that in the chat room. If you're interested, it's really about taking this a step farther. For some of you guys, I know that that is not necessary. So if that is not for you, don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. Go forward with what you've got. It is a powerful, powerful tool. If this is for you, if you're not sure that you can create this, if you doubt yourself, if you doubt your abilities, if you're unsure, what is this going to look like? What am I going to do? Then definitely book a call with me. That will be really powerful for you. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to want to do the program. You don't have to do the program, but you might get something out. Well, you might, it's not that you might, you will get something out of that phone call. You will absolutely walk away with that phone call, from that phone call, with a powerful realization. So my encouragement to you, if you are somebody who is thinking, I don't know, I'm not sure, I doubt this, I'm worried about resistance, how am I going to implement this? Do I believe this? Then take advantage of the opportunity and book the call. The link is in the chat box. I will definitely be posting that in the replay as well, so that you have it. If you're not able to do that, if you can't find the link, then just hit reply to the email that was sent to you, and I will absolutely connect to you. The other thing that I will share is that I know that sometimes we look at a calendar and the openings don't work for us. Don't let that stop you. Just email me. I'll get you in. It's not a problem. I think that when we're ready for something, we're ready for it. And again, I know that that's not for everyone. So if this isn't for you, then I hope that you use this every day, that you spend time connecting to your letter, to the feelings that are behind that letter, to the power of your ability to create and to experience success and what you want and what you desire, because it is possible. So thank you everyone for joining me today. I've absolutely loved it. If you have any questions and I jump off, feel free to email me. I'm happy to answer them. Oh, Brittany, I'm so glad to hear that. You're so very welcome. And also the interview series is continuing. So I'll just be doing an interview a week. So look out, 12/31, the very first one is coming out, and stay tuned. So it'll just be one a week. So that should be super manageable, because I know those 21 days in a row is like a lot. So you're so welcome, and so much love to everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been an honor to connect with each of you, and use this tool. It's so powerful. I can't even begin to tell you guys how many things have changed as a result of using this tool. Like, use it. All right, so much love. Bye, y'all.